ambush. Amnesty International seeks probe into Senator Natasha's allegations against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Inspector General of Police Kaudi Egbetokun issues warning to police officers on respect for fundamental human rights. On the foreign scene, United States hopes for real progress in peace talks as 3 people are killed in Russian strikes on Ukraine. Good evening, this is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. My name is Okpayemuni. 6 operatives of the Zamfara State Community Protection Guards, popularly known as Askarawa, and 4 local vigilantes have been killed in an ambush by bandits in Anka local government area. Reports say the operatives are returning from a successful joint operation led by the Nigerian Army, which resulted in the killing of several bandits. However, as they made their way back, they were ambushed by some recalcitrant bandits, leading to the tragic loss of 10 lives. Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal disclosed that the victims were part of a team that had conducted an operation alongside military personnel in Anka before they were attacked around Bagega axis. In a statement on his verified Facebook page, Governor Lawal added that 3 persons are still missing, including 2 members of the Community Protection Guards and 1 local vigilante. The personnel of the Nigerian Navy and 2 others who were abducted by gunmen in Abuja have been rescued. The female naval officer attached to the Directorate of Media Operations Defense Headquarters were kidnapped from their residence in the Mpape area of the Federal Capital Territory on Friday night. It was gathered that the abductors had already contacted the families and demanded 100 million naira as ransom for their immediate release. But the FCT Police Public Relations Officer, Josephine Adi, said the release followed a joint operation led by the Police Command's Anti-Kidnapping Unit and comprising of personnel of the Nigerian military DSS hunters and members of a local hunters group. During the process, 4 suspects were arrested and the victims were rescued unarmed. SP Adi disclosed that additionally, a sum of 3.2 million naira suspected to be ransom money from previous kidnapping operations was recovered from the suspects. He stated that efforts were ongoing to track and apprehend the remaining suspects currently at large, stressing that security deployments has also been reinforced in Mpape and surrounding areas to prevent future occurrences. Staying with security, troops of 6th Brigade Nigerian Army Sector 3 Operation World Stroke, in collaboration with Sector 2 Operation Safe Haven, have destroyed bandits' hideouts in military operations in Taraba and Plateau states. They also succeeded in arresting some suspected gun runners who have been wreaking havoc in the states. The Acting Assistant Director of Army Public Relations Officer, Public Relations 6th Brigade, Captain Olubodeoni, disclosed this in a statement on Sunday. He said the troops launched an offensive on March 22 at Achale, a border community between Karim Lamido local government area of Taraba State and Wasi local government area of Plateau. During the operation, the troops engaged and dislodged the armed bandits, recovering a motorcycle before advancing to another stronghold. Similarly, on March 16, troops raided the residence of 2 notorious gun runners, Irimiya Aboki and Tanko Adamu, in Mararaba Donga local government area. Though the suspects escaped, security operatives recovered 4 pistols, 1 pump-action rifle, and 6 cartridges. In Anambra State, the police command has rescued Reverend Father Stephen Ichezona, abducted by gunmen at a petrol station in Ichida and Naucha local government area. The assailants, operating in a white Lexus SUV without a plate number, took the priest in his own vehicle after abandoning theirs during a gun exchange with security operatives who responded to the attack. In a statement, the command spokesperson Tochukwu Ikenga said the victim was rescued in the early hours of today by a joint security team comprising the police, military, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, and local vigilante groups. He added that the kidnappers abandoned their Lexus SUV in an attempt to escape after a gun battle with security forces. Meanwhile, the State Police Command has arrested 2 suspected cultists in separate operations and recovered firearms along with other incriminating items. SP Kenga said the arrests were made during intelligence-led patrols across the state. The Osun State government has established a security joint task force to combat rising insecurity in the state. This comes days after suspected bandits attacked the Abaoyinbo community in Akure North local government area, killing 5 farmers. A separate attack in the same local government claimed 14 lives in 4 communities, prompting protests by farmers in Akure, the state capital. Speaking in Akure on Sunday, the state commander of the Amotekun Corps, Akogun Adetunji Adeleye, said the new task force set up by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa comprises all security agencies. Adeleye added that security posts will be established in affected areas to prevent future attacks. The Amotekun boss also disclosed that the Corps had apprehended no fewer than 32 men suspected to be kidnappers in the state forests. Here in Osun State, the government has moved to collaborate with stakeholders and non-governmental organizations to improve adolescent and youth reproductive health outcomes in the state. This comes as the state will on Monday, March 24, commence free HPV vaccinations, targeting girls aged 9 years from primary 4 to JSS 3. Speaking at a technical working group meeting, the Adolescent and Youth Health Desk Officer in the state, Roslyn Akilabi, said the HPV vaccine is crucial in the prevention of cervical cancer, prompting the state government's intensified focus on the younger population. Mrs. Akilabi added that the vaccines will be available at all primary health care facilities within the state. While speaking, team lead of One House Development Initiative, Tubosun Olabomi, urged the government to strengthen partnerships with civil society organizations in promoting improved reproductive health for adolescents. He also advocated for a nationwide campaign on the HPV vaccine, stressing its importance in safeguarding the health of young girls. On a part, chairperson of the International Federation of Women Lawyers in Osun State, Fida Oluwadamilola Olabi, appealed to government to subsidize the cost of sanitary pads, as soaring prices have made them unaffordable for many adolescent girls from low-income backgrounds. The HPV vaccine protects against a common sexually transmitted infection linked to cervical cancer, genital warts, and other cancers. It is most effective when given to girls aged 9 to 14, but also benefits older youths.
We have been able to discuss issues that has to do with the adolescents and the young people, especially today we are actually focusing on our adolescents in terms of how do we assist them in maintaining their menstrual hygiene, and we're also talking about HPV vaccination for girls of 9 years, and we are able to advocate and also solicit for more support from our partners and our CSOs, looking at it that it is not something that government alone can do, but they can also be of help to see that our adolescent girls and boys are living in good health. Especially now we're talking about our girls being vaccinated with our HPV vaccine that prevents cervical cancer.
Firstly, I want the government to be more open to partnership from civil society organizations, NGOs, FBOs, the MDAs also, especially the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, working with several partners to now be able to reach out to all the various areas that we need to reach, especially where we have adolescents. For example, the public and private schools.
The government should intervene and look at it that, standard products are out and they are subsidized. There are so many activities that government does, like they're giving free condoms. Sometimes when they do programs, they give free condoms, they subsidize the price of condoms. This should also go down with sanitary pads, not the issue of child not being able to talk. They won't be free that, I don't have pad, I can't afford pads. Even when they talk to their mother, they'll be like, "Sure, of pad, you come buy it. You understand?" So the government should look into it. We should want us to advocate for government to maybe partner with these companies so that they can produce sanitary pads, give it to schools, hospitals, any health centers, so that girls can have access to it. Even make it cheap at the rack in the supermarkets. Girls can afford to buy.
Moving on, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLA, says it has intercepted a 42-year-old Indian woman, Netu, at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano, with 72 parcels of heroin concealed in wafer wraps and packaged as chocolates. According to a statement by the agency's Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, a consignment weighing 11 kilograms was seized from Nature's luggage after a search at the arrival hall of the airport. Reacting to the arrest, NDLEA Chairman Brigadier General Mohamed Buba Marwa retired, highlighted a disturbing trend of drug cartels hiring foreign nationals, including white women, to traffic illicit substances through Nigerian borders. In another successful operation in Kano, NDLEA operatives arrested a 45-year-old suspect, Michael Ogundele, with a 50-liter steel gas cylinder at Gadar Tampurawa along the Zaria-Kano Road. After welding tools were used to cut open the cylinder, officers discovered and extracted 50,000 pills of tramadol concealed inside. In Lagos, NDLEA officers arrested Olumuyiwa Kolawole and Samot Adisa in motion with 67.5 kilograms of skunk, while an additional 100.8 kilograms of the same psychoactive substance was recovered from a store of two fleeing suspects in Anifowoshi, Mushin. The Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SRAB, has taken President Bola Tinubu to court over what it calls the unlawful suspension of the Rivers State Governor, his deputy, and the House of Assembly members. A 6-month suspension was announced while the president proclaimed a state of emergency in the state. SRAB argued that the decision violates constitutional provisions and undermines democratic governance. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, and Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, retired, have also been joined as defendants. SRAB, in a statement by its Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, argued that the rule of law would be a mere figure of speech if the people's right to participate can be arbitrarily suspended or violated. SRAB insists that the suspension contradicts both the Nigerian Constitution and international legal obligations, citing the African Charter on Human and People's Rights and the African Charter on Democracy, Elections, and Governance. It further argued that Section 305, which grants the President powers to declare a state of emergency, is neither absolute nor superior to other provisions of the Constitution, stressing that such power must be exercised in a way that upholds democratic participation. In the meantime, suspended Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has made his first public appearance after his suspension from office. Mr. Fubara was seen attending a church service at the headquarters of Salvation Ministries in GRA, Port Harcourt. He attended the service alongside his Chief of Staff, Edison Eye. His appearance comes days after President Bola Tinubu declared a state of emergency in Rivers, citing political tensions and security concerns. The declaration led to the suspension of Mr. Fubara, his deputy, Ngozi Odu, and all members of the State House of Assembly. President Tinubu appointed Ibokete Ibas as the sole administrator to oversee the state's affairs for 6 months. Amnesty International has said the allegation of sexual harassment which Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan leveled against the Senate President Godswill Akpabio must be investigated. The human rights watchdog made this demand in a statement on X by the Director of Amnesty International Nigeria, Issa Sanusi. It called on the Nigerian authorities to immediately institute an independent and impartial investigation into the allegations. Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan, representing Kogi Central, accused Senator Akpabio of depriving her of her right to represent her people after she rejected sexual advances from him. She alleged that the Senate President had been denying her the opportunity to contribute to debates and table matters affecting her constituents on the floor of the Senate. Although Senator Akpabio had since denied the allegations, the Senate later went on to suspend the lawmaker over what it described as an unruly conduct. You're watching News at 7 on Western Spring Television. Still to come, police inspector suspected to have gone